Hello everyone, welcome to our data visualization project. For our future visualizations, we'll have the US opioid dispensing rates as well as the 10 driest cities in the United States. Our team consists of me, Diane, and Sean as well. Below you can see the tools and methods that we've used and ways to contact us. And over here in this area, you can see our original code, and then here you can see our video presentation. So first I'll go into my visualization. Wait for that to load. So this original visualization is the original CDC map of opioid dispensing rates. And just for some background information, in 2019, there were over 70,000 drug overdose deaths, with opioids involved in over 70% of those cases. So some things that are wrong with this current map is that it categorizes the rates in 4 different categories, from low to 2 medium categories and 1 high. This has several limitations because it obscures variation. For example, in 2023, Kansas had a rate of 52.8, whereas Arkansas was 71.5. But yet in this map, you see that they look like they're the same rate because they're the same color. So you're not kind of able to see low and high ends of the category. It also ignores this change over time, and it has a very limited color range, making it hard to distinguish between regional differences. So my redesign was using a stacked bar graph. And so what this does is you can see both 2019 and 2023 values, seeing kind of a decrease among the rates. So for here, you can see Massachusetts with the rate of 35.5 in 2019, and it having decreased to different rates to 28.6. And so you can kind of toggle between the 2 different bars. So in all the different states, you see a decrease from 2019 to 2023. And this can show a different baseline, and you can also kind of identify which have large decreases and also minimal decreases as well. So for here, you can see that Alabama had a very big decrease. That might be because they also started at a very high rate in 2019 versus other states might not have as big decreases compared to Alabama. So next, my redesign is a heat map. Over here, you can see that these are 2019 opioid dispensing rates. So the higher the dispensing rate, the darker the colors. I used red to specifically indicate, because the red is associated with warning, risk, or urgency, and in a public health context, it signals areas of concern. And you can also see here that there's a regional cluster right here. So over here, you kind of see more darker red compared to on the West Coast side. So overall, something that could be interesting in the future would be to integrate demographics or socioeconomic data, or even overdose deaths in the region for more deeper insights. Thank you.
Hello and welcome. So following Diane, I will also be presenting a visualization and 2 redesigns. So for my visualization, I chose this map of the 10 driest cities in the United States. And my main issue with this graph is that the color is kind of counterintuitive to what we're measuring. So we're measuring inches of rain per month, and the more rain the more rain there is, the lighter the red is, and the less rain there is, the darker the red is. So I just found it kind of counterintuitive. And also there's a lot of information, and it's kind of spread out on this map, and you have to follow these pointer lines, and they match the border color, so it gets kind of hard to read. So I thought this was a good choice for something to improve on. There's a decent amount of things. So the first thing I want to do is just make it a bar graph. So just to clearly present the information so now you can instantly see, look at the rainfall values. So you can see that Las Vegas, Yuma, and Lake Havasu, they're all kind of minor outliers in these 10 cities with little rainfall. And I also added this US average rainfall value bar just so you can instantly see, okay, yeah, these cities really are a lot less recipient of rainfall than the US average. Um, the original map doesn't show this. It was mentioned on their webpage, but I thought it'd be neat to have it in a visualization. So that's what I did. But also, I wanted to just try and use the same format that they did for my second redesign. And that's why I went with this dynamic map. So you can click on the data points, and there's a bunch of information here. I pulled from Wikipedia, the US Census Bureau, and weatherandclimate.com. And I added some temperature and humidity values, so that gives a better picture for dryness. But now you can also zoom in too, so I can look at the least rainfall, the city of the least rainfall, and yeah, it looks pretty dry. But you can also see, yep, the humidity's low, and the temperatures are high. But also with this information, you can see, like, El Paso, Texas, has the most rainfall of all these cities, but Yakima, Washington, with less rainfall, is cooler and is also more humid. And just by zooming in, you can see, yeah, it's actually got some green in the satellite view. So I thought that was pretty interesting when you add the more information than just rainfall. Oh yeah, and also the graph is just less busy in its default state. And if you want that extensive information, just click on whatever city you're focused on. But yeah, those are my two redesigns. We have the very simple bar graph, instantly absorb the original information, and then there's the detailed dynamic map. But yep, that's my end, and you saw Diane's visualizations, so hopefully you found that they conveyed the original data more clearly or were easier to read or understand. Thank you.